So it turns out that we've been wrong all along, and the raw food diet could be deadly, according to a geneticist. For some reason, this article talks about Gwyneth Paltrow, maybe to give it a bit more interest. But speaking at the Hay Festival, a guy called Professor Jones said, "We are the only animal who has ever lived that would starve to death if we ate raw food alone. We've lost the ability to digest our food. We've lost the enzymes and the absorption mechanism to digest raw food." How is that? How is that? How can a scientist say that? How can a professor say that we have lost the enzymes to be able to eat raw food? How can someone say something that is so obviously wrong? Because every single human being is eating, well, not every single, but most are eating some raw food every single day, usually in the form of fruit, and digesting it. This is this kind of fruit blindness. Like, people kind of think think that fruit can't be our staple food, and it makes complete sense when you start to think about that it can be. But the only way that he can be saying that is if he thinks that we should be eating leaves or something like that, or grass, or I don't know what he means by this. We've lost the ability to digest our food. We've lost the enzymes and the absorption mechanism to digest raw food. How many pieces of fruit has this guy ate in his life and digested fully? Green vegetables, nuts and seeds. Look, he doesn't even mention fruit as part of the diet. See, people get trained into believing that savoury food is savoury food should be making up the majority of your diet. You know, it's not. It's sweet food is what we need, and what we would go to if we were just eating raw food in nature. So this is a really unusual kind of article. It's an unusual statement. It's been picked up. I don't know why this writer in particular has picked this up. It's at the Hay Festival, which I think is a book festival. And there's a number of different people that do promote this idea that a raw food diet is impossible, or we have to be eat cooked food, or we're cooked food eaters. It's not true. It's simply not true, and it's not a really good reflection of what people have been eating over the last few thousand years either, or the last few 100,000 years. So people have been farmers, and people have created societies and created places and farmed and created plants. But somehow we've created this idea in this century that we were all eating meat and hunter-gatherers and all this rubbish. All of the successful human societies were ones that were doing farming. They grew food, and a lot of that was fruit. An abundance of that was fruit. And that's just kind of been lost in a few generations. The idea, and people don't even realise how substantial fruit was in the diet. So it's crazy. But the reality is, the guy should be spinning it around. Instead of saying we couldn't eat raw food, what he should be saying is none of the food that most people eat is digestible or edible without cooking. Therefore, there must be something that we can eat, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to survive to the point of being able to cook. See, how can you just all of a sudden start cooking? You need to be very intelligent and developed already. So you need to have had a food source already that's been full of calories so that you could feed an intelligent brain and feed the amount of energy that a really energy intensive brain needs. So these guys that come out with this information, it just doesn't make any sense. They need to rethink their thoughts. They need to consider that fruit meets all the criteria as being able to provide us with enough calories, as being edible and digestible raw, and being delicious. And think about all of that together. How does that not make a strong argument for fruit being our best food, our most natural food? I mean, we already think of it as our best and most healthy food. So it's weird that people are so trained out of eating fruit, because children naturally go towards it. They're so trained out of it by all the other stuff they're addicted to, that they start coming out with ridiculous nonsense statements like this. Raw food diet could be deadly. The raw food diet isn't deadly, and if you want to learn more about it, then come to the fruit festival. It's coming up to only 50 days left or so. So make sure you get your ticket, because there's not many left. And you can go to our website, fruitfest.co.uk, to learn more and get in touch with me if you need. But please let me know what you think about this article, and leave a comment below. Maybe share the video around if you think it's interesting. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.